Hello and welcome to my Britain's Got Talent Series 19 semi-final number 3 recap and review. My name is Marsinger Homie, content creator and the host of Marsinger Homie's recap and review podcast, where I talk about TV, music, celebrities and so much more. If this is your first time tuning into my podcast and you're listening on Spotify, please download the episode and follow the podcast so you don't miss anything when a new episode is out. And remember, you can always follow me on my social media platforms, which is my Instagram at Marsinger Homie and my YouTube channel, which is Marsinger Homie. All of it is available in the thumbnail of the podcast if you're listening on Spotify. So, as you know, it is week 3 for the semi-finals of BGT Series 19, and honestly, I can't believe we are halfway through the live shows already. It has flown by so quickly, and it was another fantastic episode. We had 8 more acts, all competing for 2 more spots in the final, and yeah, and also KSI had the golden buzzer this week, so he was in charge of it, and he pressed it for an act that I don't think many people expected to do well, but this act was just fantastic. So them getting the golden buzzer, I had no issues with, and of course we had the public vote winner, which honestly, looking back, I think it made total sense as well because this person was just fantastic overall. But anyways, I think overall it was a great episode. We had Westlife performing as a guest performer, which was awesome, and Avenue Q, which was basically like the Muppets, basically like the puppets or something. Very interesting. So but it was a pretty cool, pretty interesting guest performance there to open the show. But overall, it was a fantastic show, and the final this year is shaping up to be a good one. So, without any further ado, let's get into this week's recap and review for BGT semi-final number 3. So, starting off the night, we had the Playground Boys of the dance group from episode 3 of the auditions, and honestly, I was very excited to see them, as I had a good feeling they would make it through to the live shows, even though Alicia was a little bit critical of them in their audition. But this performance, I think we can all agree, they hugely stepped up their game, and it was a fantastic routine to kick off the night. So for their performance, they broke through a set of letters. They basically broke through a set of letters which spelled out playground, which was really cool, located on the stage, and they did flips, and they did a dance routine on both the stage and behind the judges' table, with one of the members doing a bit of breakdancing, which was really cool. Golden by Jungkook, Standing Next to You by Jungkook, again, 2 Jungkook songs there. Boys by Lizzo, and Where Is My Husband by Ray. I love me some Ray. And I thought that these guys absolutely stepped up their game from the first audition. They were fantastic. KSI mentioned that they treated the stage like it was their playground. Alicia also mentioned that they really upped up their game with some really good song choices, which, by the way, which was very good as well, because I do think the song choices were really good. And Simon mentioned that the confidence they felt in the others, they could see it and they could feel it, and they were prepared. Which I completely agree with what the judges said here. I thought they were absolutely fantastic, and this was honestly a huge improvement from their first audition, because I thought their audition was really good, they had potential, but this performance here, they leveled up 10 times. Like, it was just incredible. I think their personality showed really well. I think that the choreography was brilliant. The song choices were also very good. And again, I think they really did up their game from the first time round. And overall, I just thought they were fantastic. And honestly, I was honestly a little bit surprised they didn't make it to at least the top 3, because I feel like they could have definitely gotten the voting backed by the public. So, but overall, I thought they were just superb. A great start to the show. And honestly, I'm so glad we got to see them, because they really delivered on this performance here. Next up, we had the Lux City Choir, who were on episode 8, which was the final audition episode. And last time they did High Love by Whitney Houston, a great song here. So for the semi-final performance here, they did a gospel rendition of The Climb by Miley Cyrus, which is, by the way, a brilliant song. I love Miley Cyrus. Her voice is just incredible, and The Climb is another brilliant song. I remember hearing that on the Hannah Montana movie, which was awesome. And they initially were around the judges' table when singing. Then they kind of brought it up to the main stage, and then they kind of added their bit of like that kind of added their African culture in a way. And This performance actually got a bit of criticism from the judges, and honestly, I have to agree with them. So Amanda mentioned that she was waiting for that massive moment which they saw in the audition, but they didn't feel like they got it. And KSI mentioned that he wasn't too sure on the song, and even some mentioned he felt like the production or the producer's words to be at fault here, which I have to say. I have to agree with the judges on this one. I don't always agree with the judges, but this one I do agree with because look. There's no doubt they've all got great voices, but the song choices was what really shot them in the foot for me, and it's a shame because I think they are a great choir. Their audition was really good, but and again, I just feel like the song just didn't really suit them. It didn't suit their voices in a way. I think because for me, The Climb is a song that someone has to do like. That's something I think a solo singer would do. Like that's like a real like belter of a song for someone like like for example like when we're kind of jumping off conclusions here, but Hayley Orantia from The Masked Singer, when she was on The Masked Singer's Ringmaster, she nailed that song because that's like a powerful powerhouse song you have to have the right vocals for. But for a choir to sing this, it just didn't connect in my opinion. But I do think them adding the African culture to it was a very nice touch. And again, I do think it's a shame as well because I really, really enjoyed them. But unfortunately, this was not the performance in my opinion. But credit where credit is due for them doing what they did, and I do respect them for doing singing the song, giving it a go. And again, overall, I do think they sang it really well though. So I will say that because it was a good performance overall, but it just wasn't my favorite one of the night, unfortunately. Next up, we had Mizuku Shinagawa, the aerialist from Tokyo, Japan. And honestly, I was so excited. I was so excited to see her because her audition was incredible when she did that routine to "Tattoo" by Loreen, a great song as well, by the way. And for the semi-final performance, she took it to a whole new level. So she did a routine to "Running Up That Hill" by Kate Bush, which, by the way, this was the perfect song choice for this routine. It was just everything about it was just epic. And so basically, she did an aerial routine where she was swinging around the stage, then did flips and spins while with the rope, and then she descended from a height, and it was actually the Baltic House Orchestra covered to the song, which honestly I love when they do that when they have like epic versions of songs. I think it makes it 10 times better. And oh my god, she was absolutely unbelievable. Like I honestly, it was just mind-blowingly amazing. So Alicia mentioned that she loves these kind of performances where every single element comes together and in perfect harmony. And Simon mentioned that they haven't seen anything on the live shows anywhere near as good as what they saw there, and the audience were going mental for the golden buzzer. I honestly thought KSI was going to give it to her because that was literally like a golden buzzer worthy performance right there. And honestly, I was quite shocked she didn't get it, in my opinion, because I thought she because she was world class right here. Like everything from the music choice, the stunt she did, the music choice, everything, like the whole production value for this performance was absolutely out of this world. And I just thought the whole routine was just remarkable from start to finish. Like everything about this performance was tremendous. I can't even say enough of how amazing this was. It was just, yeah. I can't describe. And honestly, I was shocked that she didn't make the top three after this performance because this was just unbelievable. It was absolutely tremendous. It was just, again, I just think her not making the top three after that performance there was just criminal because I thought she was just incredible, just unbelievable, absolutely superb. But honestly, she was amazing. But every time we've seen her, it was just incredible, and I'm so happy that she indeed got to the live shows. It would have been amazing to have seen them in the final, but that's how I guess the show goes, unfortunately. But she was just absolutely tremendous. Next up, we had Mega Unity, the Joker's, the Joker themed dance group from France, and choreographed by Sabek, who is of Murmuration fame, who's also the choreographer for LMA, so which is pretty cool. So for their performance, they did a dance routine to "When You're Smiling" by Louis Armstrong and the orchestra. And so it was kind of like a very interesting, like kind of like a, I think it was a different cover of the song where on a staircase, where one of the members was on a staircase. Then they had the others coming out doing another dance routine. They had towards the judges, and then they had two members on stage who were being lifted up and down on either side, which kind of reminded me of, you know, those bungee jumps that, you know, you see, or you have those things you strap and you jump on the trampoline. I hate those type of things, but honestly, it was pretty cool. And they even had a bit of like, even I think at one point they had a few members had like the little thingies that they have in Ghostbusters, little spray thingies that they like smoke, like, you know what I mean. So like, but you know what I mean, like, you know, in Ghostbusters where they have the big old smoke cannon thingamajigs and they go like, you know, my explaining is absolutely terrible. But KSI mentioned that it was a weird, scary, amazing performance, but Simon was actually quite critical this time around because he mentioned that the choreography we had seen on another act, which was he was talking about LMA, and he was being a bit critical here, which honestly, I do not agree at all with what Simon said at all. I really do not agree with him at all because I personally thought they were absolutely fantastic. And you know, again, for me the Joker, like, them being the Joker, that's what makes them stand out so much. And I think, you know, I don't think they were copying LMA because LMA are all kind of like all like, and okay, Mega Unity, they did do a bit of the arm thing, but it's not throughout the whole performance though. That's the thing. Like, but like I don't really think they were necessarily copying LMA in a way. But again, I could kind of see where he's coming from in a way, but it's weird. But like, again, I don't agree with what Simon said here because I thought the music choice was really good. I loved the choreography. I loved the staging. I loved they had two members, you know, doing the bungee jump thing on the jig. You know, that was pretty cool. And overall, I really like, I could tell the amount of hard work that was put into this. It was shown right there. And again, overall, I was impressed. I was really, really impressed by these guys. So honestly, I am gutted that they didn't make it through to the final, but I had a feeling they would. But I mean, for them to get seventh place in the voting was so unexpected. I did not see that coming at all because I actually thought they were really good. So, but yeah, honestly, Mega Unity, if you're watching this, just want to let you know you are just amazing, and I'm so happy you did this show because of course this is a group by Sebek, who's part of NMA, and he's just a brilliant choreographer, and you did him proud with this performance. It was just fantastic. Next up, we have Neve Node, who is essentially my sentimental favorite this whole series. Well, she has been my sentimental favorite, especially with her being from Ireland, because I'm half Irish, believe it or not. And honestly, I was so excited to see her so she did for audition because she did Ordinary by Alex Warren. You know, it's a great song there. And for her semi-final performance, excuse me, for a semi-final performance, she did a rendition of Together in Electric Dreams by Giorgio and Philip Oakey. I can't pronounce that name, but you know the song, you know I'm on about. And she was playing the harp on the top of a square platform on the top of the stage. I loved the visuals in the background. They looked really good, and I thought she sang it amazingly. KSI mentioned that he felt like the song he wasn't able to resonate it as well, but she still sang it really well. And Simon mentioned that if she made it forward, it's all about having that moment. And of course, she made it to the top two of the night, so just missing out a place in the final. And honestly, I think I can understand where the judges are coming from. Maybe the song choice didn't really suit her necessarily, but I think regardless, I think she still sang it amazingly. And I think what makes her really stand out is that she's able to take these songs and make it her own, which really makes her stand out in terms of other singers we've had over the years. And I do think her because a little spoiler alert, this was actually the first episode of the series, especially doing these content stuff, that I've gotten both my finest predictions incorrect. Because if you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, I do my predictions for who I think will make the final each night, and this was the first time I got both the top two incorrect for my predictions, so that was a bit of a bummer in a way. But yeah, I do think that again, I really am gutted that she's gone, because I think she sang it amazingly. Even though the song may not have fitted her, but still, I still thought she sang it just brilliantly. And I really do hope she's in contention to get the wild card, because she's just so ridiculously talented. I just love her voice so much. And yeah, I'm just really got my fingers crossed that we see her get that wild card, because she's just absolutely breathtakingly good. And now we go on to Ant&Dec's Golden Buzzer, who won the public vote, meaning that he won the public vote for the semi-final that night, with that being Ted Hill, the stand-up comedian who combines his love of comedy with his analytical brain in a way, you know what I mean? But oh my god, I didn't think I was going to say this, but this for me was the best act of the night. I absolutely loved him this time around. You know, his audition, I really enjoyed him, but this time for his semi-final performance, I absolutely loved him to bits. He was just I can't even explain how good this was. So as you know, his audition, he did a comedy routine basically with this his PowerPoint like media thing about Simon, and you know graphs, pie charts, and the phonetic alphabet as well. His version of it. So his semi-final performance, he basically played clips of Simon giving compliments to other acts from years past, as to pretend he got some of his following his audition, being before doing a comedy routine based on the things that he found Simon liked, before making it basically a robotic version of Simon express his adoration for his style of comedy. And the whole routine was just so clever. The way that they had I can't even describe it, because it's on the wiki. It hasn't got all the detail there, but basically he had everything related to Simon, like his likes, family friendly fun, etc. And he even had like a robot Simon coming out at the end, and just oh my god, this was just hysterical. It was absolutely fantastic. KSI mentioned there is no one like him, though Laser confessed being on the fence, owning to theming. I don't know what that was about. But Simon mentioned that this was actually one of the funniest things we've ever had on the show. He is so unique, and people all ages are going to fall in love with him. And they did, because he got the public vote, and he won, and he got that place in the final, which honestly, I am so happy he did, because he was so good. I absolutely love him so much. And again, I know comedy can be quite subjective, but I just think he is one of the most unique comedians we've ever had on BGZ. He is just such a unique act in terms of combining stand-up comedy with technology. It's just I just think he's incredible what he does. It's amazing how he does it. It's just so good. And I think that, the whole routine was so funny. Everything from he's witty, he's smart, it's clever. Honestly, I could already visualize him performing on the Raw Variety. This is something that would be amazing. To have an act like this performing on the Raw Variety would just be amazing. And honestly, I could easily see him winning already. I know that, we've had quite a few comedians win over the years, but I think with Ted, he's got that spark to him, that could easily take him to the end. And honestly, I do think he has been the dark horse throughout the whole competition. But I honestly think if he steps it up once again for the final, I think he could easily take home the win. I would not be shocked at all. I know there's quite a few acts I want to see win this year, especially with a few coming up. But again, I really do hope that he brings it on the final, because he could easily take home the whole thing. And I'm definitely rooting for him, because he's just so likable, so funny. He's got absolutely everything to him, and I just think he's absolutely brilliant what he does. And I cannot wait to see what he does in the final, because he is just so talented. Next up, we have KSI's Golden Buzzer, which was for the I did not expect to get it, which was Li Wei Yang, the fire juggler, who honestly was incredible in her audition. She's from Taiwan, so for her semi-final performance, her husband she basically stood on her husband's shoulders with a flaming umbrella as she escorted off to a platform on top of the stage where she juggled both the umbrella and this like huge like circular wheel solely with her feet, and basically this like I mean when I tell you this wheel, like it was a massive wheel, like it was like insanely large, and she had fire there. She was juggling with it. Oh my god, this was just insane. KSI mentioned it was phenomenal doing that with her husband her husband by her side. That must have been magical. And after much hesitation, he slammed the golden buzzer, and honestly, and she's through to the final. And honestly, I cannot complain whatsoever because she was incredible. Like she, like for like honestly, I don't think we've ever had a juggler like her, a juggler like her on the show. And the fact we have so much variety in the final, and we got a juggler like her, it just shows how good she is. Like I've definitely ever had an act like her make it through to the final. It's just I'm so happy for her. And Amanda mentioned the whole thing just has got such good drama, and the whole thing was just so well done, and she did a great job. And honestly, I can't even complain that she made it through. She got that golden buzzer because honestly, just when I thought she could. I mean, like literally, I didn't think she would be able to up her game from the first time round, but she sure did that for the semi-finals here. Because honestly, my jaw was dropping for the whole performance. You know, the way she was juggling the umbrella and the massive wheel. It was absolutely captivating from start to finish. And wow, honestly, she was just world class. I think her and her husband are just incredible what they do, and honestly, I'm really happy that they're through to the final. She's through to the final, and her husband as well. But I think she was just fantastic, and honestly, I am not mad at all that she's through because I think she was very, very good. She was so good, and honestly, it's just nice to see a variety act make it through to the final, like of her caliber. It's just oh my god, it's just brilliant. She's just absolutely just superb. I just absolutely loved her. But yeah, she's through to the final. I cannot wait to see what she does next in a few weeks' time. And for the final act we had, which unfortunately got eliminated despite being the bookie favourites throughout the whole competition, and that was Anti-Gravity, Alicia's golden buzzer. And I can honestly say I'm absolutely gutted because they have been one of my favourite acts throughout the whole series. And it's just a shame that they had to go that they went home. But their performance was actually pre-recorded, owning to technical eliminations, basically. So this was basically pre-recorded. So that didn't really bother the performance as such. So for their performance, they did a comic book. So I mean, so the first time round they did like the video game style, like endless run, water levels, fighter games, vehicle missions, space levels, etc. But this time they did a comic book based routine with one of the performers playing a programmed comic named Anti-Gravity Man, where he was tasked of basically saving the world from an alien invasion, stop a train and repair it, repair Big Ben before seemingly being weakened by extracting strength from somewhere else, as to appeal the alien leader in space, and with things of the panel of each of the judges basically being involved with, and even like I think Simon was like some sort of like alien like monster thing, I don't know, but but anyway, honestly, I was just captivated by the whole thing. It was just incredible. Just the whole act was just remarkable. And again, I'm just gutted that they didn't make it through to the final, because they were just so good. Amanda felt like it felt big, it felt epic, and Alicia mentioned that she feels like it's the future. And KSI mentioned it's one of those performances that you can enjoy at home, but live it's like nothing else. But Simon mentioned that they were in trouble because of the lineup, I guess. Like it was he mentioned that that he felt like he was watching technology, which I can agree to an extent. But he mentioned that because it's just one of those nights because of how high the talent was, and it's true because this episode was so high in terms of the talent. It was just a very competitive show, to be honest. And honestly, I will admit I'm gutted. I really am gutted that they're out because honestly, they were just they were just incredible. Like, you know, I love the whole superhero theme routine they did this time round, and I think again the amount of hard work that they must put into this is just must be time so time consuming. It's unbelievable, but it really showed here. And I know I said this with Neve a few minutes ago, but I really hope they are also a possible contender to get the wild card, because I just think they were just incredible what they do. And I just think again, because I think we all thought they were going to be the bookie favorites throughout the whole thing. Like, I remember, like, since the audition, they were like the bookie favorites since their audition. That they were literally at top of the class. And you know, I had them as my winner picks as well, or one of my winner picks. So the fact that they went home is just shocking. You know, I did not see that coming whatsoever. And again, I'm gutted as well, because I think they are so good at what they do. But hopefully they could be in contention for that possible wild card, because I think it'll be amazing to see them being brought back. So there you are. That is my review for semi-final number 3 of BGT Series 19. And we have Li Wei Yang and Ted Hill joining Matty J, Anastasia Salsa, LMA, and Fabian Fox in this year's final. Again, it's shaping up to be an amazing final. Like, the amount of variety we've got here is just awesome. I cannot wait to see how the rest of the next 2 weeks play out, because honestly, if we get the acts I'm hoping to get 4, or, you know, at least who I'm hoping to see make it 3, we could honestly have one of the best finals we've ever had on BGT. I mean, the talent has been amazing, but with the acts I'm hoping to make it through in the next 2 weeks, we could honestly have one of the most competitive, one of the strongest lineups for a final we've ever had in a long time, because it is shaping up to be an amazing, amazing final. And I just cannot wait to see how the rest plays out. But that is my review for BGT Series 19 for semi-final 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who are your favourite acts of the night? And did you agree on who made it through to the final? Or who would who would you have wanted to have seen go through, in a way? But that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening. And if you enjoyed it, please remember to download the episode and follow the podcast so you don't miss anything, and to follow my social media platforms as always. And once again, thank you so much for listening to my BGT Series 19 semi-final 3 review. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.